Hi everyone, my name is April Cordova and today we'll be talking about karmic cycles. Before we jump into today's video, I want to give you guys a special announcement. I am launching my first ever course. This is a full moon release mini course. This is something that I do every full moon. It's a ritual for me and it is a release exercise. So there's a course workbook and a course going over multiple different lessons, teaching you different exercises and routines that will help you release any buildup of negative emotions, low vibrations, anything that's making you feel anything less than your best. This could be a fight, a breakup, an argument, something you're feeling stuck on, a memory that maybe isn't the best. This is an exercise you do during the full moon to help you release any of that out of your energy, cut those energetic cords, and make space for new things to come in. This is a ritual that has profoundly changed my life in so many ways. I mean, just from being able to move on from things quicker, being able to feel better overall, just like as a person, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every way, and really help me elevate my vibration over time. You know, this isn't something you just do and the next day, all of a sudden, you know, your whole life's changed. This is something you do as a routine, and you will notice changes happen right after the first time you do it. But the more and more that you add this full moon routine into your monthly habits and your monthly routine schedule, trust me, you will have a big difference in your life overall, just in how you feel energetically, the things that come into you, the new opportunities that are aligned to you, the new connections, the new people, the new relationships, the new opportunities at work. You will notice that your energy will clear out and you're just going to elevate naturally higher and higher into a better place. So if you guys do want my full moon release mini course, you can go ahead and click the link below and you guys can go ahead and try that out. I hope you like it. There's a full moon in Pisces happening August 30th. So this is the perfect time to get it and have the course finished by the time the full moon is here. Now the shadow period is 3 days before and 3 days after. So you had time to work through this at your pace and then do it during the shadow period there. Now into our video on cycles. As many of you know, we have our time cycles and our season cycles. So as our time goes, it's a 12 and 24 hour clock, depending on where you guys are at in the world and how you adjust time. When it comes to our sun cycles, this is where the sun is transiting. So this is where you're gonna notice your, August, September, October, November, and all the zodiac transits are gonna be going through there throughout the 12 months, throughout the seasons. When it comes to our moon transits, these are every time we have a full moon. And these also are 12 times throughout the year, but they're opposite of the sun. So you'll notice when the sun is in a certain sign, for example, it's in Leo, we just finished having a full moon in Aquarius. That's its opposite sign. Eventually, we're gonna be moving into Virgo season, and the full moon that's coming up is in Pisces. So you'll see how they mirror. Now, when it comes to bigger cycles, let's say cycles of Saturn, those take about 2 to 3 years to go through a certain zodiac sign, whereas the sun and the moon just take that 1 month to go through a sign. Saturn would be a planet that takes 2 to 3 years to go through a sign. Jupiter can again take a longer amount of time as well. And these cycles are longer, so they have bigger, larger effects. Whereas with the moon and the sun, you're getting it every month. You're getting one and the other. So this is a good practice to use if you're trying to manifest and release. The full moon is our feminine energy that's all about releasing. And our sun sign, our sun transit is the masculine energy. So that's gonna be where we're kind of feeling more of a quicker pace, like especially during the summertime here in the Northern Hemisphere, you're gonna feel a lot more higher energy because it's that summer season, right? Whereas the lower hemisphere might feel more of a slower season during that time because that's their winter, right? So it's all kind of depending also where you're at. But when we're in our summer season and we're getting a lot of that energy, you'll notice as you go through the different zodiac transits, how the energy corresponds to what you're experiencing as well during that period. Like you'll notice during Sagittarius season, everyone is usually getting together for the holidays, they're traveling, they're, having different celebrations and events. Whereas in Capricorn season, everyone's kind of getting back to work, getting back to the grind. It's a new year, new things to do, really in the element of getting to the nitty gritty. So different seasons and different zodiacs are going to have different energy that corresponds with it. And the same thing for the moon signs. So when you go through a moon transit, that's when we're wanting to release something. Right now, we're going to be experiencing a full moon in Pisces, and this full moon is going to be transiting more of that dreamy, inspirational, secrets, mysteries, hidden energy. This is the time where you get to really dive deep into your subconscious, into your fears, into your doubts, into your spirituality, into different levels of a deeper thought and deeper process, and figure out which things you need to let go of. So this is why I actually do the full moon release. It's a series of different exercises and workbook activities that help you get interactive into different ways of releasing, whether that is writing, whether that is meditating, whether that is doing the Ho'oponopono release ceremony, which is part of the full moon release course. This is something that single-handedly has helped me release so much that I've been carrying on to through the years, through the months, through the days, kind of just depending on what I'm experiencing at that time. And just taking 30 minutes at the full moon period and setting it aside to go through the worksheets and go through these exercises has helped me feel so much better the next day. So I feel lighter mentally, I feel lighter emotionally, I can have a clearer vision of where I'm going. Sometimes we get caught up in this chaos of whatever stress we're dealing with, or whatever argument we had, or whatever falling out occurred, and it can be easy to neglect doing the inner work to release that. Right? Forgiveness is about us. It's about nobody else but us. So taking that time to forgive will help you release that buildup. And when you do hold on to things like resentment or anger or frustration, it just stores in your body, and that trauma later has to come out. So doing this exercise once a month, every month, or as often as you can will help you kind of tear away any of that negativity or not so goodness that you could be holding on to. And you will notice such a better state of flow throughout your body, throughout your energy, throughout your creations, throughout your imagination and your workflow. You're just going to notice a whole tempo of flow differently after doing this course. So I hope you guys really do take it into consideration and try it out. I know you'll really like it. So I'm going to go into deeper transits, okay, and deeper karmic cycles. Everything in our life revolves around a level of karma. We do get a chance to create our own reality, which is the whole point of like law of attraction, right? What do you want, and focus on that, and why do you want it, right? And focus on that. And then what are you putting out that's going to bring that back to you? Because here's the thing, if you want X, Y, and Z thing because of X, Y, and Z reason, but you're not acting in accordance to that, it's not going to come back to you. It's not going to be in alignment. So we want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there and kind of like going towards, you're adjusting yourself in alignment to that, right? So when we're doing these deeper levels of manifestation, right? And it's beyond something just like, I want to manifest a trip to Bali, right? You put it out there, but it doesn't just happen the next day, right? It could, but it doesn't just happen the next day. You got to be able to align yourself into an opportunity that's going to maybe bring you a trip to Bali. So for example, let's say there's a drawing for someone to win all expenses paid, all-inclusive resort in Bali, and you go ahead and you enter it, right? You're already putting yourself in the position to align to that reality. But if we were to also integrate something deeper, you would look into your birth chart and you would see where certain cycles are happening and where certain cycles are manifesting. So for example, Saturn in our chart is all about our restriction. That's our karma. That's where we're gonna have to do like the nitty gritty and feel restricted. So if you have Saturn transiting, let's say Saturn right now is in Pisces. So let's say you had Pisces in your 9th house. you might feel restricted from long distance travel. So even if you're submitting to all these contests and you're not winning it, it's probably because you're being restricted from that long distance travel. So that's where karma comes in to kind of adjust things, right? At the very end of that transit, you may win an all expenses paid trip to Bali for an entire year, right? Because that's usually how it goes. At the very end of a Saturn transit, you usually get a big gift if you've done the work. So when you're manifesting and you're taking things deeper, to deeper energy forms, deeper understandings, deeper levels of awareness, you're going to look at different cycles within your chart beyond just your moon, right? Your moon is more of like your ritual releasing, your ritual forgiving, your ritual unconditional love and gratitude, right? That's just our ritual practices. But if you're going deeper into karmic cycles to understand, okay, where's my setback? Where am I being held up? Why isn't this happening for me right now? Like I'm doing all the work, but I'm not getting ahead. Why is that? Probably because Saturn is transiting that area of your life. But at the very end, you'll get it if you do the work. So make sure you do the work. Go get the full moon release mini course and do the work. And then when you're looking at a transit like that, you'll notice where you might experience pushback. So these things can help you when it comes to understanding cycles, understanding karmic cycles, bigger cycles, heavier cycles, and where you can experience restriction in cycles. Other transits, let's say, is a Venus cycle. Now, Venus is all about our love, our beauty. If it were retrograding and going backwards, I wouldn't advise anyone to go do anything dramatic with their hair or their look, right? They may not like how it turns out. But you know, there's so many different cycles in life, and astrology is a really good way to work with cycles and understand them. You know, as much as we do manifest on this channel, and I do talk a lot about manifestation and law of attraction and deeper levels of consciousness and understanding, those cycles will keep you back and keep you limited if they're working against you. So when it comes to a point of you manifesting and you're getting frustrated, right? That's a big part where people get held up when it comes to manifestation. When you are restricted, there's some force restricting you to do a deeper level of foundational structure. It wants you to have that structure in place so that way when you get your gift, you're ready to take off. You're not still trying to, you know, backpedal and put a couple more things in place in your foundation. So understanding cycles is really good for you. It can help you in your business. It can help you in relationships. Like if you have Saturn transiting your 7th house, you're probably going to have a couple arguments, fights, breakups, divorces, partnership disagreements when it comes to more of your long-term connections. These are people who have been around for the long haul, people who have, you know, really been like family members or business partnerships or significant connections. You can notice some pushback or some struggles there, power struggles there. And so if you're trying to manifest, let's say, a forever partner, you might struggle during that transit to find that forever partner, or feel like you're coming close to it, but you're not getting it, or there's just nothing in the dating pool. You know what I'm saying? Or like if you're falling out with someone who's been a long-term partner, it might just be time for that connection to go a different way, or for you guys to separate and then come back again at the very end of that transit. Same thing again with like if it was hitting your 3rd house, that'd be more about your communication, studying. You might feel like you got to just do a lot of nitty-gritty studying, or you've got to do a lot of nitty-gritty writing. Like if you're a writer, that would be a time where you're really putting the foundational pieces together for a book, for a project, for a course, for a lesson, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, it'll be more around that educational or quick trips type of energy. Right? So understanding cycles, especially when it comes to astrology, is key, you guys. I do a lot of this on my other channel, Lux Goddess, and I haven't posted on there in a while. But I will sometime soon, and I'll do a little all signs video. On that channel, I do intuitive energy readings where I use the zodiac placements and I help people understand deeper levels of energy. So as we've talked about the zodiac energy of the 12 cycles that the moon goes through and the sun goes through and Saturn and all the different planets, tarot is essentially 78 different forms of that. So we have the 4 elements, right? Earth, air, water, fire. And then we have the zodiac, Aries through Pisces. And then we have tarot, which is 78 forms. We have 22 majors. And then we have 56 minors. And then we have the higher and lower, masculine, feminine, light, dark. So we have 156 levels of energy that we need to understand and work through. So that is what I do on my other channel. And over there, I do talk a lot about the moon transits and how those kind of correlate to your sign or what you're going through. For example, the full moon in Pisces is coming up. And this full moon in Pisces, if you're a Pisces, is going to be in your first house. So people who have a strong Pisces placement may feel like they're really letting go of areas of their ego or identity that they no longer resonate with. So for example, this could be, I don't really like this style anymore. I don't like my hair this way. Or, you know, I want to maybe show up in a way that's more confident. I want to show up in a way that's more poised and more kind. I want to be a kinder individual, right? Whatever is associated with your ego, identity, and who you are. So, you know, based on what your zodiac sign is, it'll transit you different. Like I'm a Sagittarius, so it would be hitting me, Pisces is 1, Aquarius 2, Capricorn 3, Sag 4. So it'll be hitting me in my 4th house, which is family, my foundations, and my home. So I would say, okay, when it comes to my family, my foundations, and my home, well, actually, mine's up for sale. So I would say I am so grateful for the opportunity in my home, but I am ready now to release this. I am ready to move into a new cycle in my life. I am ready to create a new foundation. I am ready to maybe change locations and do something new with my home, my family, and my foundation. So that would be a way, something I would forgive and release. See, it's all kind of where it's transiting for you. And understanding these cycles will really help you get into a routine practice of letting go of deeper areas in your life. We have the 12 zodiac, which are pretty much 12 different types of energies made up. And then we have the 12 houses, which are a different 12. They're kind of similar, but different, all right? So when it comes to, for example, Sagittarius energy, that's very spunky, electric sometimes, very creative, inspirational, can be a little bit fiery and feisty, but you gotta be ready for that. And a little like quick tempoed. 9th house though is also the Sagittarius energy, but 9th house is more of higher philosophy, higher learning, higher education, long distance travel. So you see how each of the 12 zodiacs also have a house that corresponds with them, but what they're two embodying are similar but different. So there's 24 sets total, and based on where your chart is, you'll kind of know where it's hitting and transiting for you. That's why I make it really easy for you guys when I make worksheets every full moon, and I send them out via email most full moons. Not all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. So if you guys want to sign up to my email list below, I will have the zodiac full moon release worksheets for you. You can use these hand in hand with my course, and it will definitely help take your process so much deeper. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, please go ahead, grab my course below. I appreciate it so much. Have a wonderful day.